All right, well, let's get started. Manish, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. It's been 2 weeks. So the first week, actually, I have done very less GSoC work because I was working on ESP fixing. So there was a lot of issues like 700 or 800 edited
Whoa.
issues and all the stuff. So I have to fix everything in the code base. That was like a 2-3K lines of PR that
Whoa.
got merged also.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first week, I did work on ESLink and I also did work on front-end side a bit. After that, this week I was working on the email side notifications and the mark notification is with that mutation in the backend. And I also made a front-end part. I want to screen share this thing, but there are some issues in my laptop that API is not getting started right
Okay.
now. Let me see that.
I noticed that you mentioned in the chat that you're having issues with some of the features and that some of the testing wasn't working. Was that you or was that somebody else?
No, no. Yes, I was. I mentioned that at the time actually some PRs are getting merged in admin side, so that was not according to our new ESLint issues. So that was I have to fix all the new PR issues by
Okay.
myself. So I was mentioning that, but it got merged, so no issues right now.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. All right.
Actually, I'm having some problem. API is not getting started in the local machine.
All right.
Uh, yeah. So I think admin will not let me to log in, so I cannot share the notification dashboard. But if it gets started, then I can present the notification dashboard in next 20 minutes.
Okay. If you have an issue, can you just send me a link to the demo of what you've done so I can put that on YouTube? That would be good.
Yes. I will share the screen share. I will screen record those things and upload in the link.
Yeah, that way we don't waste time with the others, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And let's move on to the next person who would like to present. Abhishek, please go ahead.
Yeah, can I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
In the last 2 weeks, I was working on migrating the SNMP manager that was synchronous to asynchronous and implementing all those, like migrating from easy SNMP polling with the PySNMP. And I have so let me share the screen, that will be better.
Okay.
So, is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is the complete Python file that I written. So it's starting with the basic methods were still the same, like the credentials validation from the config file and checking those credentials if they're right or wrong, or also checking with the contact devices. So like the major portion that I worked on is actually, I just explained. So this is in the easiest NMP. There were just two simple protocols for the auth and the privacy.
Right.
But there in easiest NMP, we just directly return out a string. That string, that easiest NMP itself handles it. It maps out that string and itself give out the protocol. But in the PySNMP, we have much more control over. So there are much more protocol that we can use. So based on that, I have used this all protocols. But by default, if no protocol is mentioned in the config file, so I will move back to the SHA-256 and the AES one. And the next part, the main part, the polling part uh, that I worked on is the get methods and the walk method. So for the SNMP version 1 devices, there is a, like the get method will work eventually with all the SNMP devices, but the difference in the walk method is I have created two methods for the SNMP version 1. So this walk version 1 will work on that with the SNMP version 1 devices with the OID prefix if not complete OID is given, and for the rest of the versions there is a version 2 on which I use the bulk CMD part. And lastly, there was the big issue that I faced was here while converting the resultant data types, and what happening was uh, we are using in the switch map OIDs with the leading dot, right? But the problem that I was facing that the resulting key value pair that I get back from the polling result from the pi SNMP, that key wasn't containing the the starting dot. So what simply I was searching in the convert in the format in the OID valid format. I was just searching for OID, that starting OID with the key. So it wasn't matching and not giving out the result. So simply I can just show you I have created a simple test file just for checking if this async SNMP manager is working. So I have already tested it. So for this part, this is working. The major portion that is done. The next part that I will be working on is SNMP info, where I will this part is done. The major part is the layer 1 and the system OIDs. I will get back to all the MIBs like the generic and the Cisco and the Juniper devices one by one. I start with the MIBs with the related to the system, then eventually move back to the different layers.
Okay, so that's significant progress, and I've seen that issue before with the leading dots, and with it. Sometimes it varies not just with the packages, but sometimes it also varies with the device that that responds. So you should be yeah. Go ahead.
Is there any specific reason why in the switch map we are using OID with the leading dot? I search for the internet, leading dot still works with both the libraries, but is there a specific
I don't remember why it happened. I think when the results come back from our SNMP walk using the command line, I think it comes back with a dot. That may be the reason why it was created that way in the first place, if I remember correctly. So do what you think makes the most sense so that you can have a more efficient code base. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is yeah. Go ahead.
No, I am done. This is the whole thing that I implemented.
Okay. Well, that's the fact that you've swapped out the class is really good progress. That's one of the major aspects of the deliverables for the GSoC period. So congratulations on that. That's really good to see. Okay.
But I have to still test it on devices that the
yes. Yeah. Okay.
Also this one is still working with the multi-processing, right? We have to also work on that. So
threading. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we need to get that done. And something that, if you have time, something that we should start thinking about is putting the configuration in the database rather than in a YAML file, so that it's just more manageable. Because when it's done in the YAML file, it just becomes more complicated for the end user. So if we could find a way to get that done between you and Abby, that would be good to start thinking about, because I have a feeling that with the progress that you're making, that you may finish ahead of time, and that would be a good feature to add. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, who's next? Okay, Divyanshu, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I have just completed the action item and action item categories in backend and frontend both. PRs have been merged. So now for this week I will start working on recurring events. So the major problem I faced, it took a lot of time, like a week extra, because there were a lot of test cases and showstoppers like ESLand, so it took a little extra time. But now, and I created the CRUD operations in backend and frontend at each single file. So those were the bulk PRs. So that was also the problem. For now, in recurring events, I will create like minor PRs. Like I will first complete the create in backend, then front end. So that's how I will create minor PRs that will be easy to maintain and review. So yeah,
Okay.
that.
All right. With the recurring events, I know that I think it's was it R date was the package? Are you still using that?
Yeah, RR rule, right?
RR rule, that's right. Yeah. And is your logic for that making sense? Are you finding yourself having any difficulties by integrating that?
Yeah, for starting first week or second week, we just working on the like documentation and
Okay.
implementation details. So all those things are final. Now just I will start implementing it.
Okay. That's good to see. And if you can, please refer to that discussion that was on one of those. I think it's either on a PR or a discussion group in GitHub discussions, where we went through over and over and over again all the various options that we had. I think Mito would be able to give you some guidance on that too.
Yeah. So last year Mithul implemented the recurring events, and now he's the primary mentor of
Correct.
this project. So it is really helpful in that case because he knows what's like pros and cons of this feature. So that's really helpful.
Okay, right. That's really good. We need to find some way, just like we know already, not to load the entire calendar for all organizations, for all users into memory, and that was causing a huge problem. So I'm glad I'm glad that you guys have figured out something. How are you handling recurring events into the future? Like, do you generate events all like up to a certain amount of time into the future, or do you just store it as the rule object in the database? How does that work?
We are creating like for a certain amount of time, say 3 months, and we will have a cron job that will decide like when the time comes to close to 3 months, then it will generate in the back end another 3 months window.
Okay, all right. Okay. So that way it's always pre-populated.
Yeah.
But then what happens if somebody decides to go 1 year ahead or 2 years ahead? That in those cases that would be an exception and it would be done on demand.
Yeah, that can happen. There will be an exception handling also in these kind of tells because 3 months uh, 3 months window is a default window. If
Okay.
anyone wants to use that window, they can.
I see. All right. So there's a methodology for auto generation in future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I really would like to see this in action. So when this is getting closer, let me know because I really want to make sure that works well. So that's really great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Divyanshu? No? All right. Who's next? Okay, Jai, please go ahead.
Hello everyone. So this by week I primarily worked on the admin panel extensions. So I made some significant progress. I'll show you.
Good.
Yes. So you can see my screen.
Yes.
So this is a user portal. We have this plugin settings, a global plugin setting which user can like customize plugin according to his need. For example, if we have a AI plugin, which we are later planning to have for some summarization of events and anything, so he can add his own summarization styles, maximum length. So this can vary user to user. So from here we can control everything.
Hold on. Are all of those settings universal or just for the individual or set for the individual plugin?
For the particular plugin, which is
Okay.
the test plugin, we have multiple plugins like AI plugin or event plugin.
All right. So what you're saying is that the end user or the user of the plugin will have the option of setting any variety of variables according to the desires of the creator of the plugin.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it depends on plugin developer if
Right.
he wants to put this setting or like have this option in his plugin. But we have this extension here.
All right. So you stopped sharing. Was that on purpose, or was there some?
No, I think
Okay.
there's some network problem.
Okay.
I'll share again. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this is like user specific setting for this test plugin, but
Okay.
for each organization also he can utilize that plugin and
Ah, great.
all the organization, but they'll follow the same setting the user set it.
All right. You've got some. You've got some issues there with the. Okay, yeah. If you can try and figure out how to get that responsiveness fixed, just when you
So
and yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. But
Like this is dummy data.
yeah, but this is good to see. The fact that it seems seamless and the design matches what we have wanted to implement in the long run. So that's really good to see too. All right.
Thank you.
And do you have, is there like a style guide for the plugins or that's going to be added to the general documentation for Talora?
We can add it in plugins repository,
Okay,
but right now I'm working on the Talava API and Talava admin.
right. Okay,
But will be developed in that repository, so we can have all those things like checking for unique plugin IDs and everything. We can have scripts and PR and checklist, everything.
all right. Well,
That
what that would mean then, Jai, is that we're going to need to integrate the Docusaurus for that into
I
the
have
over.
already done.
Ah, all right.
I've
You've read my
created
mind.
the plugin repository and added links to this page. We just need to deploy that, and all three will be synced.
Okay, all right. So what you're saying, I just want to be clear that if somebody goes to docs.talora.io, there'll be a link to the plugin documentation.
Yes, like we have these here.
Yes.
We'll have plugin guide also.
Okay, excellent.
And I have synchronized it across all repositories because I saw it because it depends on like mobile docs, mobile
Right.
domain. So I did it according to what we are using right now.
All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing that added to the repository documentation because that's going to be important. Okay, good.
Yes, so this is user portal. So we have now, to summarize, we have two things, global plugin settings and plugin in each organization. We can go to any organization he's in, we'll have a different plugin interface. He can maybe have different to-dos in this organization and different in others, but the overall settings he can configure from here. So it is like really dynamic.
Okay, great. Now, the big thing that's going to be an important factor for any sort of an MVP is a plugin specifically for dealing with donations and financial transactions. What are your plans for that? Because I think at a minimum, we should have a plugin that works with at least one financial institution. So,
Yes.
okay.
I'm like coming to it towards the end.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Right. Which one would you be planning on doing?
I'll start with the payment plugin and then I will do a AI summarizer using a Habibu case model. So I'm like planning the system correctly for those. That's why I used the AI reference here because I was thinking about the AI summarizing settings and all.
Yes.
So I came up extension points.
Well, what I'm trying to say is there are multiple providers of services that are financial credit card related. There's in the United States, there's Stripe, there's PayPal, etc. Which one of them are you thinking of adding as a plugin for people to start with?
Oh, okay. So I think in the project description it was PayPal.
Okay.
But if you want me to use some other which you
No. Okay, hang on. We've got a lot of people jumping in. I think I saw Noman and then Satyam. Please go ahead, Noman.
I think integrating PayPal would be difficult because I don't think it works in India.
Right, but it works in the US, so that could be something. But if we had something that could work with both countries, both the Razorpay works with both. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's try something that's more universal. And
Okay, I'll look into this then.
okay. And I think I saw Satyam. Were you going to say the same thing?
Yeah. Actually, in my proposal, I have to integrate the donation, like the plugin or button for in mobile app. So in my proposal, I had proposed
Donation is a
Stripe.
different, not plugin.
It will depend on that plugin.
No.
Okay. Well, all right. So hang on, Satyam. I think if you can, rather than discussing this right now, can you talk with Jai directly or through the chat to try and figure out what the areas are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because
Actually,
because
system.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So hang on a second. We're going to have to be careful, Jai and Satyam, because if most organizations are going to have just maybe they could have one or two different plugins, right, for financial donations, for example. Okay, and with the user experience is going to need to be able to have a consistent experience, right? Therefore, we're going to need to think of a standardized way for the end user to interact with whatever backend financial plugin there is, right? So that you don't have a separate set of buttons, a separate set of look and feel for every single different financial plugin that could that could be implemented by the organization. All right, please go ahead.
Yes, so I have like already worked on that also. I'll
Okay.
come to it. Yes, having the same structure for different plugins of similar kind like payment. So to just show the simplicity we have here, I'll show you how this is working. Like we have this manifest which is targeting different extension points. So this one is like global user.
Hold on. Are you referring to the screen? Because I'm not seeing anything.
I don't know. This problem is coming again and again.
Okay. Satyam, is that what your concern was?
No, I think it's different. As someone suggested, I think.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Jai, you're saying?
Yes, so we have this extension points and it is like we have this code block which is for user global.
Right.
So we can just remove this and on this page it will be removed. So it is this easy to target and extend the functionalities, and to get it back it's just having it again, and the files related to it and everything are already in the plugin folder itself, and these extension points are already created.
Okay. All right. Right. But hold on. But what I was trying to say is that, say for example, an organization has PayPal as their provider, right? And then they decide to change that to go with Razorpay. The end user should not be seeing the difference. Like it's a mobile app. If they want to make a donation, for example, they should not. It should need to be difficult. The payment processor behind the scenes, right? And we're going to have to think of ways in which, like, if PayPal is the backend processor, that interaction would be a relationship between the organization and PayPal, right? That's not based on a relationship with the end user and PayPal in every single case.
But they provide, I think, their own interface like Razorpay and PayPal. We cannot control it. We once redirect to the pipeline,
Yeah.
the payment, and it is credited. So the front end will be difficult, but we can have the buttons similar.
Okay.
We have two buttons, so it will be one PayPal, one for Razorpay and all.
So that would be the case with like with the mobile app. So they would have a choice: pay or donate with PayPal or donate with Razorpay. Is that what you're saying?
If we install 3 payment plugins, all of them will be stacked like this.
Okay. Right. But I'm thinking of it from the mobile app side. Okay. Right. Work with your mentor, because we need to make sure that if somebody has specifically for donations, because donations are going to be an important part of any non-profit organization that's going to be using Tallower, and it's going to need to be very, very easy to use and seamless. I saw Tyrone putting up his hand because I know that there are a bunch of guys in Jamaica that have been facing this issue over the years. Tyrone, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Morning. The Yeah, I wanted to comment on the previous thing, but Jai had mentioned it that the payment processors they have their own interface. So even if you have multiple ways of payment, you have to um, use their like SDK or backend
Right.
or front end processor. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. But as long as it's easy for the end user to use, that's the important thing, and that it's intuitive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jai. That's really helpful. All right. So we can. Please go ahead.
Yes, I have more to show right now. So this covers the new pages and new routes part, but we have had one more aim in plugin project to inject code into already built components like this one.
Yeah.
This GitHub I have injected dynamically from here. So it wasn't originally present in the component itself,
Okay.
but we can access it easily. And to just show how easy it is.
You've lost. Hold on. You've lost your video again.
Yes. So did you see this one?
Yeah, that's right. It's gone. I see that now.
Okay.
Okay.
So what we need to change in the component, we'll need to just add one line.
Okay.
The plugin, we'll have to call the plugin injector and the ID we want it to inject code. Like it's the G1
Okay.
general plugin first extension point. So we just have this plugin injector and injector type G1. So it takes the code from the plugin, and we can have as much as we want.
All right.
We can create multiple extension points there, and the code will be added into the components with just
Right. All right. So, Jai, one of the things that I want you to take into consideration, and I'm not sure whether you have, is that if somebody does, say, for example, they want to do an upgrade of the code base and they download the latest version of Tallower and it overwrites those, we don't want it overwriting those files and then all the plugins go away. So if you can do like a standard importation of some method of something that's not normally in the code base and use like a git ignore to prevent that likelihood, that is going to be better. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Plugins you are talking about, like if they like install some plugins and they get full and like.
That's right. Right.
Yes, it is already getting.
Okay, right. So, but that file that you're editing with the endpoint is that in the code base or is that in the
test function? No, this one belongs to the plugin itself.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Thank you.
So like, it doesn't change anything in my
All right.
So we have the stage changes, and I
Yeah.
can add like more plugins and the more data, but it is like
Okay.
no change.
All right. Yeah, because the last thing I want, last thing the organization wants is for the latest Git pull causing all their plugins to disappear, and then we have more headaches than is necessary. All right. Now I'm looking at this homepage, and I think we're going to need to remove all these social media things, and make them optional, because it adds to the difficulty of doing installation. So we don't need to fix this now. Maybe closer to the end of GSoC, because right, social media comes and goes, and we have Reddit and Instagram, and the installation process demands that you put in all of these URLs for the app to come up, and that is just not going to be acceptable, because not everybody's going to have those URLs. Okay, all right, thanks. This is good. Are you done?
Yes, similarly we have for admin the the global settings where he can add the, like for PayPal, he'll be having some keys to link to bank account, and he can he can manage that plugin in specific organization also. So it covers everything.
Okay, good, good. All right, we can. I'd like to get a more in-depth presentation on this. If you can,
Yes.
if you can do a separate video and then just share that with me so we can put it up on YouTube so that it's dedicated.
I'll
Yeah,
do it soon.
yeah,
Right now, we are working with mentors to getting this mouse.
yeah,
Share.
yeah. When you reach a major milestone, please do that so that we can get that. Yeah. All right. Thank you. That's really good. All right. So we've done Jai, we've done Abhishek, we've done Manish. Who else is next? Tyrone, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut, but I just want to mention this before I forget. Previous years we've had issues with large PRs, so I just want to mention it again that at least at the milestone mark, we should be getting PRs to review, so that things can uh, be moving in terms of the latest updates. So we don't want large, massive PRs that is going to hold up getting a
Right.
feature implemented.
Yeah, we've had that issue in the past. We really need to do smaller PRs on a per feature basis. Yeah, please go ahead, Jai.
Actually, my this PR will be little bit large because the plugin code is completely new. So it is confined in one folder, so it won't cause any conflicts or anything. But like I have to create a lot of files to like make everything work and test.
Okay. All right.
All right. That sounds fine as long as it's the bare minimum requirement to get the feature started that you're working on. You want to keep the PRs as small as possible, right? So if it's the bare minimum to start the feature, then it's fine. But if it's not the bare minimum and then there's like 15, 20 files with like 30 lines of code, 30,000 lines of code in total, that's just, it would be unacceptable. And then that PR would have to be split into smaller PRs. So everyone please do bear that in mind going forward.
Yeah, I agree. We've had gigantic PRs that have created disaster, and one of them was the various ones that we had with the Postgres migration, and it could have been handled better, but we needed to have that feature put in place as quickly as possible. All right, who's next? Okay, Abby, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. So I've been working on small stuff on the UI itself, but like important ones. I was working.
I know that the last time that we spoke, you're doing stuff related to Figma. Is this now the actual code? It looks that way.
This is actually
Okay, good.
so. I did like some fallback UI.
Okay.
Then now the device overview table will change according to the zone.
Okay. All right.
And so we can search here, and it's for like we
Okay.
can search hosting as well.
Okay.
And so regarding accessibility, there is like soft here.
Yes. Okay.
I added like keyboard interaction too,
Okay.
so it's more accessible.
Okay.
And I started working on the topology, but it's just the starting point.
All right.
And that changes with the zone as well.
All right. Okay. Generally,
But like,
okay.
yeah.
Generally speaking, for the topology, just focus on the inter-network device items right. So don't bother with links to all the various hosts on the interfaces, because that's going to make it look very, very bad. But just
Inter-network
Yeah,
don't know.
like
Yeah.
switch the switch and switch the router stuff.
Okay. Yeah, this is all like switch to switch.
Okay,
So
good, good. All right,
and like we can search here as well.
nice.
And
Well,
things will
oh, good. Oh, that's a nice touch. All right. So
like it's just the starting point. I have to like make
yeah,
it cleaner.
yeah, it needs to be a little cleaner, and there's the just the general CSS. But I see
Yeah.
the framing of what you had in the Figma, which is good. All right.
So like regarding that, so there was a type column here before, and we decided to take that out.
Yeah.
But without determining the type, I cannot change the icon. So you think I have to?
So the type, what was the type again? Was that whether it was a switch or a router? Was it that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just make it. Don't bother with the type. Just leave
So
it.
like,
Just leave the same color for everything for now.
I mean like the icon. So in the Figma design, it was like an icon for switch. That was it was one icon, and for router it was another icon.
Right. But what happens is, yeah, we could. All right. I don't remember. Is the type of device, whether it's switch and routers, is that updated in the database? I don't remember.
No, it's not.
All right. So for now, let's just leave it alone, and let's just if it's
Okay.
yeah, just don't bother with changing the color and that stuff. Okay. All right.
Okay. And so if you go to the, so I tried to make this like color blind friendly
Yeah.
colors, and now this is colorful. So it should be
Okay.
responsive as well.
Oh, nice. Good.
And so the home page as well.
Yeah.
Now it's the hamburger menu.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's I think that's pretty much it.
All
And
right.
like yeah, so the CSS is all changed to Tailwind.
Yeah.
And actually, so there was an issue with the IP port. IP port is empty.
Okay.
That's an issue. So I was able to get MAC address and manufacturer details
Okay. All right.
for some, but IP address is not popping up.
Okay. All right. So work with is it Abhishek? Yeah. Work with him to try and figure out what's going on there.
Yeah.
All right. This is good. Looking forward to the additional features and the UI that you had mentioned for the Figma design. So that'll be good. But I'm glad to see that the core functionality is where it needs to be. So that's good. Thank you. All right. Any questions for Abby? No? All right. Let's move on to the next person. Who else? I think we're getting close to the end, right? Is there anybody else? Satyam, okay, and then okay, let's do Satyam, then Mohit.
Hello, Peter. Hi. So the past 2 weeks I was working on the chat feature in the Talaba mobile app. So like for now I have worked on the Talaba API backend. Like there was some queries missing. I added them and made appear. And also I worked on the mobile app to implement the new queries and mutations because it was like using the like old legacy ones
Right.
for MongoDB. So I migrated it all and migrated all the models. So currently my changes were based on backend, and also I did some changes in UI, like enabling the chat feature. So like I'll show you.
Yeah, that's right, because the icons were blacked out, right, or not were missing because the feature wasn't working. Yeah.
Yes. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Alright. So first I fixed the tool. App tool did not have that chat feature. So like I fixed that.
Okay.
Currently this is the chat feature. So like it fetches all the organization members. So you can create a chat with anybody.
Okay.
So that was it. And this one was the tour. So tour also did not have like the chat one. So I like added that also.
Yeah, okay, so that's the demo. That's the demo feature. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
Yes.
So the chat one was not included, so I had to fix that. And there was also one problem with the drawer closing, so it was like stopping the app. So can I tell you how the chat will work in the mobile app? I have planned something.
Yes.
I'll show you by graph like this.
Yeah.
So what I have planned is like before we had different queries, like in MongoDB we had like sender, receiver, and we had organization chats and direct chats.
Right.
But currently in our Talava API we only have one chat feature.
Right.
So I'm planning to use them both for the org and direct chat. So what I'm planning is first I will be like creating a chat using the create chat.
Right.
Using the wait a second. Oh, I'm not thinking it here. Sorry. Yeah, so first I will be creating a chat. Like for example, I'll be naming the chat like the name of the person
Right.
who will be in it. So after that, I will be calling the chat membership for two people. First I'll call it
Okay.
for the current user, and then I'll call it for the member who I've selected. Then those two will be added to the chat. After that, I've been planning to redirecting them to the chat list screen. So for the list screen, it will fetch all the chats which the user is a part of. So I will be like I will be inputting the user ID, and it will fetch all the chats he is part of. So like Harvey and Scott is here,
Right.
so it will show us the chat between them. Then I will be clicking the chat and redirecting it to the chat message screen.
Right.
So it will fetch all the chat by the chat ID. So
Right.
it will fetch all the chats between the both of them, and we can show it as the old like all the messages. We can like also allow pagination. Like if we scroll up, it will load more chats. So I'm planning to load around 10 to 20 chats, and as it scrolls up, they will see all the old chats. After that, I plan to use this. I am planning to use this mutation, create chat message. So basically, it will send the chat to the subscription. So I will be like calling the subscription. So wait, I think I missed. So subscription was not working before. So yesterday I saw the issue and fixed it. So currently I'm able to listen to the chats in real time.
Okay.
So it's working. So I think I'm not clicked the picture. I need to
Right.
start it.
Right.
Okay, it's here.
Just like you had with the bringing up the most recent 20 chats, you're going to also need to
Yeah.
do something similar for just bringing up the most recent chats the person has been a part of. You know, like when you're in WhatsApp and you look at the.
Yes.
Okay, so the same thing. All right, good.
Yeah, I will be fetching the last, the recent chats, and I
Mm-hmm.
will filter them according to the created time.
Right.
Whenever they created.
Yeah.
And like I also saw that there are multiple other things like we have update chat messages.
Right.
So I think after once the basic structure is implemented, I think we can add features like edit chats.
Okay.
We can delete a chat. Those
Right.
features will also be very good.
Okay. What, before you go too far, I know that you're working with Noman.
Yeah.
You should also try to get in contact with Disha because she handles some of the notifications in the first place and getting the chat done. So she may have some inputs that would be very insightful for you. Okay?
Yeah, I did tell Noman. I think he will get me in contact.
Oh, with
I
Disha?
think he wants to say something.
Oh, yeah, that's right, he does. Yeah, I realize that. Noman, please go ahead.
I think we have a lot of queries already in place, so try focusing on just restoring them rather than creating a new query.
Okay,
No,
all
no,
right.
I'm not creating any new. We already have update chat, delete chat.
Yeah,
I will be using them. It's just not implemented in the old code in the mobile.
they're not working with the new migrated Postgres server. It's
Yeah.
implemented with the MongoDB, so it might not be working. But just check for the queries. I guess everything was implemented. It's just not working.
Yeah, definitely. I'll fix it and implement it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Peter.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic that we can get an MVP by the end of the summer. The progress that I'm seeing you guys doing, and I'm not hearing a lot of roadblocks, and I think we're at a point where we're starting to have a product that looks like it's going to be manageable and managed. I can't express my happiness that in any more greater terms than the work that you've done related to the ESLint stuff. That anything that we can do to make sure that we get an MVP that can be usable. We need to get it working with at least, at a minimum, colleges in India to try and see whether they find it useful. And anything that you're doing related to it, just think about how would this be useful in a college environment to improve the cohesion of the student membership. And I think that would be really great. Okay, right, who's next? Are we at our limit? Do we? All right. Vanchika, please go ahead.
Yes, hello everyone. I have worked on the course issue these few weeks and successfully solved it. But there were some problems which I saw recently after my PR got merged. It was something related to the authentication and cookies. Maybe because we are using local storage right now, that's why issue was arising. Previously, the issue was related to the post page where the course issue was arising. Let me share my screen so that you can see what is the issue. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's coming up now.
Okay, yeah. So previously we were having issues in post page. So yeah, this was the course issue. Is it visible or should I zoom it?
Zoom it up. That's too. Make it bigger. It's still too small. But please just describe what you're showing us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is happening in the post page? We were having an course issue because in the post page we had to send an authentication token, and according to like what I have researched on, course issue mainly occurs when you have an authentication token being sent. And previously we were having this line where we were accepting the request from all over the internet.
That's
So
right.
yeah, so we didn't have any specific front-end URL mentioned to accept the request for API. That's the problem. That's why we were having issues on the post page because we were actually sending the token, and that's why course issue was arising. Then I worked on the Talaba API and fixed the problem by adding some few lines of code which has been merged in this PR. So right now we should not be having the course issue, but currently I saw that there are a few more issues arising. I'll get to that next week. For this week, I'm having the major concern on deployment section.
Right.
We previously had Nginx. I saw that in our code base, but currently we don't have either Apache or Nginx. We're only using Caddy right now. So I'm concerned that, as you said in the chat, that we can use AWS and then we can while we deploy on AWS we can use Apache there, and the problem will be solved for reverse proxy, and we'll not need any kind of reverse proxy in addition like we have here in our code base. So we have two options right now. Either we can use Caddy, which is already existing in our code base, or we can remove it entirely and use Apache when we deploy on AWS.
Yeah.
But there is a catch.
Yes, go ahead. What's the catch?
So the catch is when we use Apache, we automatically do not get like the SSL certificate generated, which we have right now as we're using Caddy. So we'll have to do some coding for it and make a cert bot. Then second thing is that we don't have HTTP 3 support if we use Apache. We also have to configure that using some lines of code. So these
Okay.
two things are there. We'll have to add it,
All
which
right.
are already existing in Caddy. So
Okay.
it
So
makes the setup easier.
all right. So that I just want to be clear on the SSL certificates. With Apache, you can configure it to point to the SSL certificate that you get from whoever the provider is, and that would be a part of the configuration. And that is standard for any deployment that you get. So it's not as difficult as you make it out to be. You in the Apache configuration, you just say this is the HTTPS configuration and use these two files as the sources of truth for the encryption for the SSL certificate. So that's not hard. And then the HTTP3 stuff, is that just because Apache, the latest version of Apache doesn't support it, and more than likely in a few months it'll be supported, and then the problem goes away? Is it one of those types of things?
Actually, for Apache version 2.449 something,
Yeah.
it supports HTTP3, but we'll have to configure it in code. So yeah, it does support.
Yeah.
We'll just have a little bit more lines of code if we are using Apache with AWS, and we can remove Caddy.
Make it as simple as possible so that the less code that we are maintaining, the better. Let that be the Apache or the Nginx problem, right? And then put in the documentation that when you're setting this thing up, this is how you set it up for Nginx, and this is how you set it up for Apache, and maybe modify the setup script or whatever accordingly. But one of the issues that we've had over the years is that people just dump more and more and more code into the code base, and then we have an unmanageable situation. Okay? All right. What I'd like to do with you, we need to set up a time, is that I want to remove the reverse proxy stuff from the test .talua.io to make sure that your course thing really does work.
I understand.
Okay, so let's try and figure out a date and time for that, and then the two of us can work to make sure that this really works the way it's supposed to be expected. And I think sometime next week would be good. We just need to figure it out. My days are going to be relatively empty next week, so just let me know some times, more or less in nighttime your time, and I can do it early nighttime potentially, like let's see, maybe about 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 or 9 o'clock, and but get in contact with me over chat to determine when that would be. All right. Thanks. This is that course thing. It's been a headache for 2 years. I'm glad that we're finally figuring it out. Thank you.
Yeah. In either way, we're gonna solve this. I have other options as well if this issue is arising.
Okay.
We can totally remove the reverse proxy as well. I'm trying to do that because adding reverse proxy isn't necessary if
Right.
we can just configure it using our code.
Right.
So I'll try to do that.
Okay. Let's see how that works out. All right. And I think does anybody have any questions? Because if not, we can go to.
One more thing
Yes.
as well.
Okay. Good.
So basically, I have made a bash script because our Docker containers used to fall because they say that your code is busy and some issues like that.
Right.
So here you can see that first of all it will detect your OS because according to our OS, the scripts will run to check the ports. So
Okay.
in my computer I have Linux, it's mentioned, and then automatically it will run the commands to see if the ports mentioned in the code are available or not. If I have made it two ways, if they they are running locally or they're running on Docker. So we will definitely know that where they are running and we can just stop them. The
Okay.
next thing we can do is to make a script to automatically stop them, or we can just integrate this in our existing script which I made for this. But the problem is that if we do this, then it might unnecessarily stop some important containers which the user, like the developer, must be running. So it can be destructive at times.
Okay.
So yeah, should I move on to that one, or should I just let it be and
Work.
let developer
Work.
let the developer run this script only and then manually stop all the things running on that code.
Work with Noman to figure out what the end result would be, and Vantrika, remember that not everybody's going to be using Linux. There's going to be Windows people as well. So whatever solution you have needs to be universal. All right,
I have added to check for it.
Okay, but Bash is not by default is not a Windows thing. You're going to have to be running like the WSL stuff, right? So be careful with how this stuff is done. Okay.
I actually wanted to ask that if anyone has Windows, then can they just try and so that we will have our own check on that if it's working on Windows or not, because I don't have Windows.
All right. Work with Noman. Noman can add you to the GSoC group, and then you'll be able to have access to everybody in that list, and that's a very large list of people. Okay.
Yeah, sure. That would really help.
All right.
For right now, I have just added the code for it, and yeah.
Okay.
If anyone can do this, it would be great.
Yeah. Ask specifically in the chat, and just harass people until somebody says yes. Okay. And then the try and get this cooking. All right. Thank you.
So that's it from my side, and yeah.
Excellent. Once again, everybody, we need an MVP this year. It's so important. We're getting there, but everything that we do needs to be getting into an MVP. Okay, I think Mohit was the last person. Are you still there? Who wants to go next? I think it was Mohit. All right, it looks as if we don't have anybody else. Yes, it was Mohit. Okay, yes. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are.
So, for the last 2 weeks, I have been working on fixing how we handle images in the app. So, right now, I haven't been able to find any solution. Like, I have tried everything. IP addresses, dynamically changing links. So,
Okay, Manish has raised his hand about something. So
I had a meet and
yeah, Manish, did you raise your hand?
Yes, sir. So Mohit and me had a meeting about the posting. So currently we are coupled up the mini IO with our API Docker containers. So that's the thing is Docker uses its internal IP like Minio 8000 for his internal doc. So we cannot map it to any IP addresses for external users right now. So I think there is a solution is that we have to extract mini.io from Talava API itself so that we can map other IP addresses on it. Like we'll have two containers. When we will deploy the whole thing, then we will have a separate Talava API container where we'll have Postgres and KD other stuff, and then we have to deploy, automated the deploy of mini.io itself. And that may also take another domain name like storage.talava.io maybe.
Oh boy. Because that's now going to make the installation more complicated.
No, it can be automated.
Right, but we're going to have to tell people to use the different domain, right? And it's going to have to be
complex, as we have other options that we have to send all the posts to backend and we will upload them through SDK, which is very inefficient. Like if we upload 10 to 15 images, then backend Node.js cannot handle these things.
all right. Think of a solution that minimizes the requirement for us to have a separate domain.
Okay, sir. Then we can just internally talk with them. I'll find a solution very soon. I was looking at these things, but I was busy in fixing it.
Yeah.
Next week I will find a solution, maybe a bash script that will help us to automate all the things, and we can map our mini IO with external IP address.
Or if it requires a separate domain, ideally we should not be having a separate domain. If it right, if it requires a separate domain, then we just have to do it. But when you start thinking about a separate domain, that now requires you to have separate DNS, and then it also means that you're going to need to have a separate certificate, because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to have that min.io running on HTTPS, right?
Yes, I understand this thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a reverse proxy for that. People might have one VM to deploy all the things like
right.
backend and mini.io.
Well, if you're doing this reverse proxy stuff, you're going to need to talk with Vanshika as well, because one of the things also is that in some cases the API and server, the API and the web are going to be running on the same device, and in some cases they may not be. So right, the API could be on server 1 and the web could be on server 2. And you need to make sure that it works properly related to that. So I guess in that case, you're going to need to have the separate domains. You're going to probably. So maybe we're just going to have to do on the domain. Like if you're setting up the API, you set up a domain for the API, and if you're setting up the web, you set up a domain for the web. I guess that's acceptable to make life.
Actually, when I raised all the PRs regarding mini.io and the backends, at that time I had mentioned that this won't work on internal servers. I think I had mentioned Jolt on that thing, but nobody replies on that.
Yeah.
This thing get neglected from those days.
Yeah.
I have to check out very soon, and hopefully I'll get.
Okay. All right. Now that you're talking about it, I think we can. I think it would be acceptable if we have one domain for the API and one domain for the other thing.
Yeah, we can just map mini.io on the same domain, but maybe another like slash storage or something like that.
Yeah, but specifically for the API, right? So the API will be operating on some port. We're using a domain, and then the min.io would be the same thing. But then hold on a minute. But then in some cases you're going to hold on. But in some cases you're going to want the API and min.io running on separate servers too, right? So yeah, this is getting complicated. All right, work with your mentors to try and figure out what the best option is.
Actually, I haven't taken into that.
Yeah, and Mohit, your audio was a little was difficult to hear. So I understand what Manish is saying. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So when I've been working on user and organization relationship in that. So, yeah.
Okay, Mohit, your audio is very, very bad. It looks as if you have some problems with the network. So work with your mentor. Let's try and figure out how we can get this problem solved as quickly as possible in a way that is scalable and it is easier for the end user to work with. And then we can come back to that in 2 weeks' time. All right. So I know that in some cases I think it's a little too early. All right. I think we're all done. Thanks everybody. and I have another meeting to get into right now. But this has been really good to see. I'm really hoping that we can continue with this progress. And once again, we absolutely need to have an MVP by the end of summer. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll try and put this up on YouTube. And thanks for working with me on this. Okay, bye everybody.